Hello everybody and welcome to another Premodern video. Today we're going to be playing in the Magic Online Society League and we're going to be trying out a deck that I've been very excited about lately. I played a very similar list to this one and I took down an event here in Southern California in Temecula, and it is Survival Welder. I actually wrote a very sweet tournament report and a very in-depth deck about the deck. You can find the link in the description of the video and below in my Patreon. It's free to access for everybody. So if you enjoy one of those old school tournament reports, it's gonna be a good read for you. And it's also a nice deck where I cover the ins and outs of this deck and why I'm so stoked about it. So this deck is super fun, very interesting, and it works with survival of the fittest, and it exploits it by abusing it with Goblin Welder. So we have access to a survival deck that has a very interesting sort of prison-y angle of attack, which is super cool. So we have access to, Tangle Wires, Sabos Web, and Winter Orb to lock things down on our opponent's side. Sabos Web actually loops and draws cards, which is very sweet, and then Tangle Wire also comes back over and over again thanks to Goblin Welder to tap down your opponent's permanents. The same thing is true for, Queen Ranger allows you to untap your Welder to get multiple activations in the same turn. Then we had a bunch of Mana Dorks, and then we actually have a nice little package going on here. We have 2 Triskelion, 2 Thopter Squadron, and 1 Masticore, 1 Ball Gnomes as well, and 2 Shield Spheres. So these numbers are very interesting, and the things that I do know is that I do want Trikes at least, potentially 3, and then also 2 Thopter Squadrons. This card I tried for the very first time in this event, and I was extremely impressed by it. It consistently overperformed. It was very strong, because it has a lot of tiny synergies. Even though it's not an individually powerful card per se, it has a ton of tiny synergies with the rest that we're doing. So the fact that it turns into multiple other creatures is very good, and also it's very good that it just kills itself. So the fact that it kills itself means that if you have a Goblin Welder and a Thopter Squadron, if you have 3 mana, this thing will go to the graveyard, and then you will have 3 Thopters, and then you activate Welder on one of those Thopters, and then you bring back the Thopter Squadron, meaning that it's going to be now a 3/3, or you can spend 3 more mana to make three more dudes. Then rinse and repeat. Again, you can have multiple Welders, or you can have Queen Ranger plus Welder in play to get this going. Also, all of these things kind of like killing themselves with every iteration, because it actually asks you to sacrifice the tokens, and obviously this thing dying also will do so. But it combos really well with Goblin Sharpshooter. This is a card that I'm only playing 1 copy of, but I am very much interested in trying out having multiple copies. There's a second one in the sideboard that I would not be crazy. It would not be crazy to play maybe 2 copies of Sharpshooter. I was impressed by how much control you have over this card between this kind of stuff, Trike being able to also shoot other things as well, and Queen Ranger allowing you to untap the Sharpshooter to get multiple activations even when things don't actually die. So was very impressed by how this worked within the synergies of everything else that's going on, and yeah, super sweet. You get to do some very nasty stuff with this deck, which is super awesome. Then we have like a bunch of Mana Dorks to kind of get started and to make Gaia's Cradle a little bit better. Wall of Roots is the card that I'm a big fan in all of my survival decks. I think that it's very good, because not only does it block and it's hard to kill, so it means that your Cradle is going to be better more consistently, but it also activates on your turn, and then you get another activation of survival on your opponent's turn. So it's actually very strong. I do find myself actually getting a wall with the survival itself. It's a play that comes up fairly often. Then we have, obviously Squee and Anger, and then a couple of one-offs in Yavimaya Granger. This is to enable the mountain for Anger. So this is like a 1-2 punch right here. It's a combo. Then an Nantuko Vigilante to blow up any random stuff that our opponent may have, be artifact stuffs or enchantments, of course, a particular Oath of Druids. And finally, Deranged Hermit, which is here just as a... The idea behind playing the One of Hermit is that I wanted a threat that was just self-sufficient. Like everything else is built around synergies, and I wanted to be able to survival for something when my graveyard was not set up. Just survival for a card that I can just play down and it just holds on its own. And the Deranged Hermit is the best thing that I thought of. I also thought of potentially something like Ravenous Bailoff. I also could something like Blastoderm and stuff, but like Blastoderm eventually dying is really, really bad. So I don't want to, you know, I want something that can hold the ground and stabilize from a low base. Like that's what I was looking for the Range Hermit. The sideboard is just like a bunch of cards that you may want in different matchups. We have the creature package is Second Sharpshooter, Genesis, Octavia Orangutan, Color of the Claw, Druid Lyrist, and a second copy of Masticore as well. Those are extra creatures that we get to bring in certain matchups whenever they're good. And then some Pyroblast effects, then 4 Naturalizes because, you know, one of the best, if not the actual best cyber card in the entire format. Second copy of Winter Roar for the matchups where this is going to be a very powerful lock piece. And then 1 Furnace, 1 Tormod's Crypt, kind of like it's a split that I can bring in different matchups for graveyard decks. So the fact that we also get to, with Welder, we get to loop these again over and over again is pretty sweet. This is the deck that we're going to be playing through this league. Hopefully we're going to have some sweet plays and some interesting scenarios that will come up. I'm always learning when I'm playing this deck, and I feel like it's just really hard to play. So obviously that makes it very exciting for me, and I feel like I'm always learning every single game that I play. So guarantee that some sweet stuff is going to happen. Without further ado, let's jump into those matches, shall we? Alright, round number 1. This hand is not good. This hand is pretty good. Do I want to bottom probably Llanowar Elf? Kind of want to bottom the Llanowar Elf. And we can like pitch the Anger to the Masticore, which is pretty interesting. Maybe I'm getting a little bit cute there and I should just ship that, but I don't know, kind of seems interesting. Turn 1 Cabal Therapy. That's a ballsy move. Goblin Lackey. Nope, not in my deck. Okay, it's an interesting one. We're probably gonna actually play that Sabos Web on turn 2. Low-key would be great for my opponent to kill this bird here. Turn 2 Girard's Verdict. Well, we're gonna be pitching this Anger, and I think I'm gonna pitch in the Tangle Wire. Like, I really want to have access to Masticore, because I'm kind of interested. Maybe I shouldn't be pitching that, but, well, never mind. I think it's interesting to pitch the Masticore, to hold on to the Masticore, because I need to have a creature in case I draw Survival, otherwise I cannot start the engine. Now all my stuff is hasty. Probably gonna be playing Tangle Wire next turn. Dustbowl is gonna it's gonna get hosed by this random Sabos Web. You'll love to see it. Plow the bird. Okay, that's bad. Really gotta find a land here. Well, that's really sexy. Oh, that's really sexy. Wow, that's so sexy, I can't even. Wow, that's kind of an incredible draw. Next turn, Tangle Wire trigger on the stack. I can start drawing cards. This is really sexy. Oh, that one too? Okay, sounds good. So let's untap. We definitely want the Fading counter to go first. I think I'm just going to tap all 3 of these things here. So let's tap Tangle Wire and my 2 lands. Say okay. Wall of Roots. So this is going to force my opponent to tap 3 cards on their upkeep. So I think we just do this, and I'm just going to draw a card with Sabos Web, my opponent's end step instead. So now I need to tap 3 lands. Okay, leaving a white mana open. And now we're going to flip this again. We get to draw another card. We untap our mana. We get to play double Wall of Roots. So 1, 2, play a wall. Now, yeah, we'll just play another wall. And I think I'm going to do this one more time, because it taps 4 things for my opponent. And now next turn I can tap both walls on the Tangle Wire to the Tangle Wire itself. And I can start to... Actually, I can just play out the Thopter Squadron and start doing stuff, or I can just use Masticore. Dude, this Welders came down and it did some damage, let me tell you. Sure, that's another one that's gonna get hosed by the Sabos Web here. Love to see it. Tangle Wire, Fading first, then tap all 3 relevant permanents. Play a land. I think I want to go Welder this away, and I'm going to play another Tangle Wire. Ooh, we're doing stuff, let me tell you. Play Tangle Wire here, ship the turn back. So now my opponent's lands don't untap, and they also have a Tangle Wire. This is amazing. Can you see why I love this deck so much? Is this enough of a demonstration that explains why I love this deck as much as I do? Man. I sure as hell am having a great time here. 1, 2, 3. Tap those. Whoo! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're doing Thopter Squadron. Alternatively, I can just go Masticore, upkeep, discard Thopter Squadron, but I think I'm just going, yeah, it's probably just better to do this. So we play Squadron, and then we immediately make a 1/1. And now we're going to swing with this. My opponent's going to be tapped out. We still have Welder activation. And next turn, we're going to start sharpshooting. I kind of want to draw a card with the Sabos Web, but I don't think I should. Oh, okay. So my opponent may be playing like a version of the deck that I built. What's the best sequence for me here? I guess I might as well upgrade my Tangle Wire. I don't see any reason not to. So I'm just doing this just to have one more counter on the wire, right? Now we untap, fading, tap, 1. Okay. I mean, this is game, but like, I don't think we even need that. So, but now we get to really go off. So we're going to pitch Masticore to Survival, get Triskelion, then pitch... Actually, because I can just play a Sharpshooter here. Yeah, let's just pitch Triskelion. My opponent's going to have 3 things tapped, so get another Triskelion. Then I'm going to pitch here the second Triskelion, and we're going to get a Quirion Ranger. Quirion Ranger is going to get cast. I'm going to switch this Thopter token with the Triskelion. And then I'm going to tap Welder, bouncing my land, replay the Weld Forest. And now I'm going to make a dude with Thopter Squadron. And Thopter Squadron for combat with everything. Just your average normal turn, you know? And opponent's down to 1. Maybe there was a there was definitely line for lethal there. I actually messed it up. So what I should have done is I should have gotten the Masticore instead of the second Trike. And then on my opponent's upkeep, I get to untap my Welder once again because of Quirion Ranger, and I get to bring back the Trike, and I just bring my opponent down to 0. Is that how that works? No, actually that doesn't work. Never mind. My opponent would have still been at 1. But this was fun. This was fantastic, actually. I had an extremely great time. So it looks like Winterorp's probably going to be pretty good. Not super in love with Masticore, but definitely love Genesis. I definitely want to hold on to Vigilante. My opponent may have Phyrexian Furnace or something like that to mess up with my graveyard. I like Color of the Claw. Sharpshooter is an answer to Decree. Probably better than Masticore. Bottle Neons can go. Probably won't Druid Lyrist because of... Actually, they may not bring an Engineer to play. I'm pretty sure they will. But so, yeah, maybe they want of Lyrist is just fine. Tangle Wire, as we just saw, is incredible. Sabos Web ended up being much better than I expected. Anything I want to cut? Maybe a mana creature? Maybe a wall? Cut a wall and cut maybe a Welder. Man, that Gerard's Verdict is so much work for me by putting the Anger in my graveyard. It made that Welder top deck just absolutely insane. That was so much fun. Okay, this is one of the very, very punishing Gaia's Cradle hands. That is okay. So let's ship this. This is another of the very punishing Gaia's Cradle hands. I'm gonna ship that one too, down to 5. This is another... Okay, joke's over. Let's bin Genesis, and I think I'm going to bin this Cradle here. Actually, I'm going to bin the Carpelusum for it. No, actually, no. It's actually fairly likely that my opponent will kill the bird. So let's bottom Genesis, and I'm going to bottom the Cradle. I just don't want to leave stuck. Did my opponent just pass the turn? Also, they have 66 cards in their deck? Well, I'm going to pass the turn back here. But yeah, they just have 6 through their turn. But yeah, I think that... they should not have 66 cards. My opponent had mull to 6. They had mull to 6, and I also was, I was down to 5. So it's kind of like we unmulliganed. So it's not so terrible. Play the bird, ship the turn back. We get to cast Queen on turn 2. How cool is that? Wall of Blossoms. That's actually deceptively good against Tangle Wire. Ugh, that sucks. So let's fetch for a mountain. Do I want to just play out the Squee? I don't think so. I am going to play out the Tangle Wire, I think, because I need to just buy a little bit of time. But obviously, I just don't want to play out the Squee because my opponent may just, I may just draw a Survival, so I need to make sure that I have a creature. Maybe I should held on to the Tangle Wire. The problem is, like, if my opponent has a Duress or something, I have no other target, so I'd rather just use my mana. The fact that I would waste my mana and also give my opponent a target for a Duress or Cabal Therapy kind of puts me a little bit over the top and makes me want to play the Wire here. I have no idea what my opponent's up to over there. Maybe they're playing... because they're playing like Walls and Cabal Therapy, so that's definitely not my Decree list. So it needs to be something else. Okay, so they have green mana floating, green mana untapped. So that means that they can't plow my bird. So I'm gonna tap all 3 of these. Otherwise, if they had, you know, Source of Plowshares mana or whatever, I would consider just like leaving the mountain untapped. Crumble the Tangle. Man, that is the worst though. Should the turn back. Flooding quite badly here. Yeah, so there you go. They did have the Cabal Therapy, so I kind of got a Crumble out of my opponent's hand, and I got a Therapy out of this deal. So I think that playing out the Tangle Wire was just the way to go. They play a Deed, which is bad news. Very bad news. We're really far behind now. The good thing is if I draw Vigilante, I can just play it and flip it same turn. Man, wow. This is really bad. We actually drew a land every single turn now that I think about it. Every single draw step has been a land. So we're probably going to need to figure out a way to work through this pernicious deed. The good thing is my opponent's clock is not super impressive. So at least there's that. Great. Definitely holding on to that one. That is something else that we can pitch to like exchange for something better in case we draw survival. So now if we do manage to draw survival, we actually have like a decent amount of stuff to do. Oh, my opponent is playing Eternal Dragon. There we go. So they're playing a really interesting deck. I don't know if it looks like it's base green black, but it's playing Eternal Dragon? That's so spicy. No blocks. The good thing is, like, if I draw survival, I may just turn things around immediately, but I'm just gonna go ahead and draw another basic forest instead. That way I keep things fair, you know? But having access to exactly 2 creatures here is really, really good, because it means that if I draw survival, this Pernicious Deed effectively does not really matter, because I just get to activate survival a bunch of times. City of Brass. So now they're gonna start to, like, they're gonna be able to get back their Eternal Dragon, which is pretty scary. Twisted Abomination. That's a card. Hey, look at that. Our game plan was successful. So, pitch Squeak. How are we going to do this? We get to... Probably we have to find Anger. Then we're going to pitch Anger. So now all of the stuff has haste. We can go get Welder. Play Welder. Then we pitch Birds to Trike. To get Trike. Then Thopter Squadron. Oh, we have to get Genesis. Oh, we just get Druid Lyrist. Great. Yeah, this is just great. So, green, pitch Genesis, get the Druid Lyrist, play Druid Lyrist, and now we just pass the turn back. We even get a free block from the Druid Lyrist to block the Twisted Abomination. This is perfect. Oh, actually, if I blow up now, I get to... my survival survives, so yeah, it's probably better. We take a bunch of damage this turn, but it means that my survival is gonna survive. So we're still gonna be able to... pitch this versus survival. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We're gonna be able to do some Goblin Welder tricks. We're gonna take 8 this turn. Next turn, we're gonna kind of go off if my opponent doesn't answer survival of the fittest. If they do, I'm just gonna get Hermit. Actually, getting Thopter may be better than getting Hermit because it makes a top-decked Welder that much better. Hermit works really well with Genesis though. It's important to remember that my opponent still has Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, which means that... oh no, attack with Treetop. It's pretty good for me. But them having Therapy in the graveyard means that I need to be kind of careful about which cards I have in hand, because my opponent's going to have perfect info. Right now, they do not know about these Birds of Paradise, so I can just use that to my advantage, because there's no way that if they Flashback Therapy, they name birds. Very unlikely for them to do that. Flashback Therapy, this is fine. Yeah, Sabo's Web was named. Sabo's Web has put the fear on my opponent after that previous game. Surprised I didn't swing with Treetop. Leaving Death? Whoa. So here I can get a free bird? Yeah, might as well. The problem now is my stuff is not going to be hasty anymore. Leaving Death. Damn. Alright, that's a thing. That's annoyingly disruptive for what I was trying to do. Now the stupid Squee and the Anger are going to be in play instead of in the graveyard where I want them. Super awkward. What am I getting? I think I'm just getting Thopter Squadron or Triskelion. I'll just get Trike. Trike makes my opponent's Treetop that much worse. And too sad that we're one mana short. Although now that I think about it, Thopter Squadron allows me to block the Eternal Dragon a bunch. We do have birds to block the Dragon a bunch, so there's that, but... I guess I can just... oh yeah, I can just cast Trike and I can just kill my own Anger and my own Squee. Yeah, I guess getting Triskelion was the best thing to do after all. Ray of Revelation is brutal. That one's pretty good. Good last card for my opponent to have there. Oh, that's hilarious. So, we're going to swing with all of these. Ooh, they block Genesis? I'm into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's Strike. Now we get to kill the Eternal Dragon. My opponent can buy it back, but like it just buys me a pretty significant amount of time here. And I can kill the Wall of Blossoms, but I don't think I want to. Maybe I should have swung with the Druid Lyris though. We're going to try to do the same thing that we did where we're just going to have like a value turn. I'm going to set up a value turn with Survival. I may need to kill my own Squee. Twisted Abomination is fine. But the interesting thing is that Survival is going to make my opponent's things so much worse. My opponent's Living Death so much worse. So kill Squee here, untap. Genesis is going to come back on upkeep. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we draw. Okay, that's interesting. I can't kill my own Anger just yet. But my opponent doesn't have good attacks either. So if I play out Tanglewire, that's going to tap a bunch of my opponent's stuff. I think we're just going to play the Wire here and pass the turn back. My opponent could top deck another Therapy, and that would be pretty bad for me, because I get no value from this Survival, but Swords to Plowshares. The Anger? Woof. Yeah, that's rough. Swords on the Anger is brutal there. I can still get a lot of value with the whole Trike thing that I got going on, but it's going to slow down my game plan at least. Do wonder if my opponent's going to take this turn off to buy back the Eternal Dragon, or if they're going to leave it there. Okay, that's how they tap. So that means that this is their only green source as of right now. Plain Cycling. Opponent 2 cards in hand. They serve. I think I'm going to block with the Lyrist. 5 damage is probably too much. Don't think I can afford to take that much damage. Take a chomp there. And now we're going to get to untap. We're going to have to tap Fading. And we'll tap 1, 2. So here's a Survival. We have 7 mana. So we're going to pitch Squee to Survival. Opponent probably gonna... Huh, okay. Definitely want to get a Welder. I could get... Ooh, I could just get the Range Hermit. Let's get Squadron, pitch Genesis, and get a Welder. Cast a Welder. And now we can pitch the Squadron to have it in the graveyard to find something else. And we are going to be hopefully untapping with a Welder. Opponent's probably going to... Oh, Smother. So this makes this into 2 2/2s. It's probably fine. I just need to make sure that I don't randomly die. Like, I do think I'm pretty ahead here. I guess this is bad into Pernicious Deed, so maybe that's a reason not to play out the Color of the Claw there. Yep. As I say that. Whoopsies. So that's the last card in my opponent's hand. I still think that I'm ahead here. So opponent cracks Deed immediately, and I pitch Thopter Squadron to find Shield Sphere or a second Welder. So what am I trying to do? I'm going to have Triskelion. I'm going to have to tap 2 things on upkeep, so that's 1, 2. If I upkeep 1, 2, 3, that's going to be Genesis to get back Welder. Could get back Wall of Roots. I could get a Wall of Roots. Wall of Roots is very interesting because it allows me to just block the treetop indefinitely, so I don't care about that anymore. So at that point, I only need to worry about the Twisted Abomination. So I think we get Wall of Roots. Other alternative would have been the Range Hermit. Oh, I'm not going to have to tap anything. Never mind. Forgot about the fact that my Wire was going to die. But this is fine though. So upkeep, we're going to get back Welder. And then next upkeep, we're going to get back Thopter Squadron. So we comes back. Genesis. 1, 2, 3. That's a nice draw. Play Welder. Play Wall. And I think I play out Shield Fear as well. Might as well. I'm not going to attack with the Trike because this prevents me from losing to another Deed off the top. And I'm definitely playing the long game. If I attack with this Goblin Welder, I think I'm gonna... Okay, opponent gets back Eternal Dragon, which means that I'm not really worried about Living Death. Okay, playing Cycling. Opponent swings. We're gonna be blocking. I think I'm gonna block with the... Wall of Roots. I just need to make sure that I have an artifact in play for... Otherwise I... Oh, no! Okay, so I have to trike down my own Welder so I can do this thing again. So untap. Genesis. Get back. 1, 2, 3, yes. Play Welder, play another Chomp Blocker. I guess I can just, at this point, I can just play out this Squee, send the turn back, and now have Squee as my Chomp Blocker. If opponent draws Living Death, I'm probably gonna be in trouble. Okay, that was their card for turn. The last card is another Dragon. So now we're gonna tap with Welder, so we should be good. I don't think my opponent should have attacked with the Abomination there. They're just putting Squee in my graveyard. just doing exactly what I want them to do, so. And now we're going to finally untap with the Welder. Genesis back, of the Claw, I guess. Back Squee, Color, Weld back, Trike, Thopter Squadron. Squadron, make a dude. Squadron, send the turn back. Maybe I should have actually I should have made 3 Thopters, didn't I? Yeah, I think I should have just made 3 Thopters there, because that puts the Thopter Squadron in the graveyard. Yar's Verdict. So now we're gonna upkeep Squadron to the bin. No cards in hand for OP. Genesis back, 5 cards. If it was 5 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3, 4 mana is what we have access to. Just gonna get back the wall. Back Squee, back wall, play the wall, play the bird. Thopter, dude, if they're dude. Slowly but surely. And now we're in a situation where if my opponent actually finds the Living Death, my graveyard is kind of better than my main deck anyway. I think we kind of lock this one up here. Oh, I should have blocked with the bird, actually. Oh, I misclicked. Well, I think we were winning this one, but obviously I assumed that I was blocking, so I'm just going to take lethal. So, I mean, my opponent was going to time out anyway, but that's just a hilarious way to lose. Alright, so Phyrexian Furnace and Thermal Script are actually pretty decent against what my opponent's trying to do, and the Goblin Welder is fantastic. I mean, we should not be playing this game 3, but might as well. So I'm going to cut a Shield Sphere and Sharpshooter, because I actually don't care about I don't care about killing wild ones. They just don't have Decree. But that was really funny. Okay, do we keep this one? Probably, particularly against my opponent's deck with a bunch of discard spells. But Jar's Verdicts feels so off in that deck. I'm not a fan. The Verdicts feel very, very off. Okay, that's a great draw. Let's play the Web. So if I draw literally anything, my opponent has Treetop. Oh, that's brutal. So we're gonna swing for 1, then untap, replay Forest. Next turn we're gonna play Tanglewire. You got a basic second Swamp. There we go. Bird. Kinda really wanna play this Tanglewire though. So let's swing, cycle Turn Dragon. Yeah. Bounce, replay, play Wire, shoot the turn back. I don't think my opponent's ever having mana ever again. Cycle Aberration, okay. Fading. I'm gonna tap 1, 2, 3. Play a bird. 1. Oh, I could have swung for 2. Could have untapped itself. I'm not particularly worried here. Opponent doesn't have any mana. And now this turn we finally get to do the thing. These 2. Okay. We found the land, which is fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Untap 5. Squadron. So Squadron finally allows me to get the party started here. So maybe they get to play a deed, but even if they do, I think it's gonna do enough because we also have color. The Wire, play my land. Let's make a dude, make another dude. Could have swung for 3, I guess. Dude, and then yeah, we're just going to weld back Thopter Squadron for the Tanglewire, and then untap the Welder, and then bin the Thopter for the Tanglewire. Now Tanglewire's reset. We are cooking. Dude. Now they have to tap all of their mana. They can cycle all they want, but I don't think they're gonna be able to race me. Okay, so they plow the Welder, which means that maybe we get to play a little bit. Don't think it's gonna be enough, but it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Play the Anger. One is down to 5. Yep, Thopter. Oh, Infest. Okay, that's fine. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that's okay, but maybe that was not so okay. Play another land, and do I want to just like play a dude? Just play a 1/1? Might as well. So they still have to tap 2 things here. They don't have Deed. Verdict. Super punish for playing out the Squee, huh? So I think I'm gonna pitch these 2. The problem is now, actually I think I'm still winning here. Because this, like now they can't Living Death anymore. Yeah, I think I'm still winning. Because I have a Trike in hand, my opponent's going down to 4. Next turn they're going down to 1. If I draw a land I win. And they can't Living Death me, so like a land is lethal, and yeah, I think I'm still winning here. It's much closer though, but yeah, we would have won 2-0 anyway. This was a lot of fun. This was a super fun match anyway. Anyway, see you next round. Round number 2. This hand has a bunch of mana, but doesn't actually do anything, so I think I'm gonna ship it. This hand is much better. Yeah, this hand's bonkers. I'm gonna bottom this basic forest. Keep bottom forest. We get to go turn 1, elf, turn 2, survival plus activation. Opponent wants to 6. Also, we're on the play. Being on the play is broken. Bloodstained Mire. I'm scared of duress specifically and kind of nothing else. Yep, that sucks. Alright. Yeah. Okay, now I'm not super hot on my hand anymore. Okay, Wall of Roots is okay. So now we get to Thopter next turn. We're gonna be Squadroning. And Squadron plus Cradle is pretty sexy. Sulphurous Springs. Alright, so we're on the top deck mode. The good thing is that in this matchup, I actually played this in the tournament from this past Saturday. And if I ever draw Survival, it's just game over. Like they can never come back from that. And they cannot remove it once it's already in play. Deranged Hermit would have probably been my best draw there. I'm gonna hold on to this wall because I already have mana to hardcast basically everything that I want to hardcast. And having a card in hand means that I get to start the survival engine if I top deck one. Obviously, if my opponent plays like a hippie or something, I'm going to play out the wall because I'm not gonna discard it for no reason. But yeah, probably still playing out that basic forest there. More mana is good. Maybe I should be scared of Blazing Spectre. Is that a card that my opponent could potentially have? I mean, it definitely is. Dark Red. Am I about to get 16'd? Ooh, Skeletal Scrying. Okay, it's pretty sexy. Yep. I guess I should have played around Blazing Spectre. Mistakes were made. Sure, I'll play that. That is so funny. Bolt the Bird. It's a little bit annoying because now I actually cannot hardcast a Trike. Oh no. That sucks so much. Oh man, not having red mana here. Like if I had red mana, I'd probably just win the game. This Welder just takes over, but yeah, obviously my opponent's hand just lined up really well against what I got going on here. Still playing this though. I can just draw survival and then I just win. But yeah, this Tangle Wire about to just didn't really do too much. I'm just hoping that it doesn't fade off. Like I can't have Welder. Grim Lavamancer is pretty bad for me. Tap that. So we do have a red source now at least, so that's okay. But my opponent also has an active Grim Lavamancer, which is really bad news for me. Man, that Skeletal Scrying just really put my opponent back into this game. There's some taxed Skeletal Scryings, that's for sure. Because my opponent's already playing Lavamancer. Yeah, pretty good. Something good? That's something good. 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I should have attacked first. Unclear. I'm gonna kill my Llanowar Elf. So now that the Lava Man is gone, this is a 3-turn clock, so my opponent needs to remove it. Don't really have to kill the Displacing Spectre. My best draw is probably Deranged Hermit. So taking the damage there, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm dead to the combo anyway. Wire's gonna fade away now. Draw Shield Sphere. Dark Ritual. Into Ghastly Demise. Ping there, ping there. Please don't have another Skeletal Scrying. Gonna hold on to the Shield Sphere. Obviously, if my opponent has another Blazing Spectre, that's just bad news. But again, I can just draw Survival and I just immediately win. So, or my opponent could be playing the Rack. Chain of Smog. Brutal. I'm gonna might as well copy that spell, huh? So we're gonna take 3 this turn. My best draw now is probably Steel Hermit. That's at least something that I get to keep in hand, so I don't get wrecked. But there are multiple cards that kill me here, that's one of them. That is definitely one of the cards that kills me. We're drawing Savos Wave until then, yeah, we're probably not getting there. Anyway, so, very interesting deck that we're playing against. Call of the Claw looks good. Genesis looks fantastic. Do I want Lyrist? I don't think so. I do want Furnace, I don't want Crypt. Winter Orb is very interesting, definitely want Uktavi. Winter Orb is very interesting. I think I'm just gonna cut 2 wires, because this game is gonna go too long for wire to matter. We're gonna get too low on cards. I think the one of Winter Orb is probably not worth it for the same reason. And then I can cut a Welder. What's my artifact count right here? This is 13. Yeah, this looks fine. I could also just cut some creatures, but I don't think I want to be doing that. Once again, punished by the Gaia's Cradle. Man, this hand was an absolute banger too. I'm gonna be keeping this one though. Keep bottom Carplusum Forest, I think. And Turn 1 Quirion Ranger, say go. Not super high on this opener, honestly. Please don't play Lava Man. Bolt I can live with. The Range Hermit. It's not good. 5 or 6 drops. Where were you guys last game, huh? Would have loved if you had showed up. I'm gonna play this wire, but it's not gonna do too much. This is not what you want to be doing with Tangle Wire. That would have been a great turn to draw survival of this, I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna leave the possibility of casting a Welder off the top. That's a good draw. Okay. Opponent tap some stuff. Can I manage to untap here? Okay, cool. So now that I've done this, now that I have survival in play, now we get to start to do some stuff. And I'm gonna prioritize playing out the survival than playing out these Fyndhorn elves, even though the elves kind of help me build. My opponent's got Furnace going though. Opponent could have Dystopia. Dystopia would be pretty bad for me. Man, this Furnace is doing so much work. Oh, this is great. I love me this factory attack. That's good news for the good guys. So we're gonna tap, Tangle Wire on upkeep, and then we're gonna see what's up here. It's pretty good. So let's play Ranger, and we're missing a land drop here, so bounce and replay. The question is, do we want to play around Engineered Plague? Because Engineered Plague would be pretty damn good here. If I play out Tangle Wire, doesn't really do too much for me. I think I'm not gonna play around Plague. If my opponent has it, then that's gonna be really bad for me, but I could have also pitched... Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have pitched the elf. I should have pitched the elf to go get wall, and that would have been good. Hypnotic Spectre. So I'm gonna need to find a way to set up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna pitch Strike, and I think I'm gonna find Anger, and Anger is gonna be my bait. And then I'm going to pitch Anger, find Quirion Ranger. Anger is bait for my opponent to... Uh-oh, I'm out of Quirion Rangers. Okay, new plan. What am I doing now? Just get a wall? Could get Thopter Squadron, Masticore, could get Welder, or could get Granger. If I get Granger, I spend 3 mana, play Granger, get my Mountain, and I get to swing for 2. I can't cast a Trike. Only have 4 mana, but I also cannot cast Squadron for what's worth, so that doesn't really help. I don't think getting Uktabi does anything for me. I can just play a... I think I just have to go get Masticore, actually. Or, because I cannot kill Lava Man if I get Welder. I can also just get Welder and hope that I top deck a fetch land. Man, this is super interesting. I can also get Will of Roots. I think I'm going to get Granger, actually. Worst case scenario, if I do find a red source, I can just pitch it. But Granger effectively answers the Furnace because forces my opponent to crack it. Okay, there's a land. Well, I guess I'm playing the Range Hermit now. And the reason to play Hermit there instead of the Granger is because I really want to make sure that the Hypnotic Spectre doesn't get my Hermit. And now it's going to be 50-50. I really hope that this Spectre gets this Tangle Wire, because it's not really doing anything. I'm at a fairly healthy life total here. Lavaborn Muse. The question now is, do I want to pay for Echo? And I don't think I do. Wire fades away. Great draw. So, survival, pitch squee. I guess I get Masticore? I think I get the Ranger, actually. I can get Wall of Roots to give me more quality mana. Yeah. But then my opponent can just crack. I can also just get Uktabi. Man, this is so interesting. It's crazy. I think I'm going to actually get... Because I definitely want to cast this Granger here. So I want to get something that I can do that allows me to still do Granger stuff. So let's get Genesis, actually. Then I'm going to pitch Genesis to Survival. And I'm going to get a Shield Sphere. And I'm going to cast both of these. And now is when things are going to start to get really scary for my opponent. Because now next turn, if they allow me to get back Squee, I'm going to... First of all, I have blockers now. And now if they want to exile the Anger... they're gonna be forced to crack the Phyrexian Furnace, otherwise they're just gonna lose, I think. Yeah, I don't think you wanted to kill that one. Okay, so they exile the Trike. They can't attack with the Lavaborn Muse because I just quadruple block and blow them out. I'm gonna be taking a bunch of damage here though. Okay, they do get rid of Squee, which makes sense. But I think I have enough mana, so I go 1, 2, 3 on upkeep, then get anything, pitch whatever to get... Terminate Shield Sphere is big. That is actually fairly important. Oh well. Everybody's going in front of this Muse, you know that. So they have a Bolt. So now I need to draw a creature. Okay, so now we're going to take 2 plus 3. My opponent is still going to have lethal next turn, I think. Because I go down to 7. I think we Genesis back the Shield Sphere. We have to. 1, 2, yes. Any creature, no creature. Ugh. Oh man, that's so close. So what needed to happen is I needed to draw a creature there, and then, yeah, this is exactly enough pressure to kill me because of the factory. So if I draw any creature there, I get to pitch whatever, and I get to shield sphere, get back, kill both of these, and then I have a trike in play. I needed to draw any creature at all, and I could have won this game. But my opponent put exactly enough pressure. Like, this card is crazy how quickly it pressures you. If I go get Sharpshooter, what happens? I'm at 6, get Sharpshooter, kill Lava Man, and then I just have a chump blocker, so I still take a bunch, so I still die. If I get Bottle Gnomes, I tap out to cast Bottle Gnomes, I chump, gain 3, then take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I have to fetch to do that, so I still die. I mean, I have to. I think that's my best line, just to go get Bottle Gnomes. Yeah, I think so. And it just, my opponent needs to somehow make a mistake here. Funnily enough, this would be, if this were a Spike Feeder, we may have won. Actually, no, because then I wouldn't have been able to chump the Lava War Muse, because my opponent just shoots and then still swings for lethal. So never mind, it would have still been the same thing. But this is exactly lethal, because my opponent has fodder for the Lava Man. Man, what a close game. What a super close game. I do think that I still was supposed to quad block the Lava War Muse, even though it was very, very telegraphed that it was going to be that way. But no, just, man, Lava War Muse just clocks so quickly. This is by far my favorite way of building this deck, like to take advantage of Lava War Muse. And I really, really liked my opponent's list overall. But yeah, cool stuff. Super, super cool stuff. Yeah, see you for the next round. All right, here we go. Round number 3. This hand probably not keepable, right? This one, on the other hand, is kind of insane. So let's keep this one. I'm gonna bottom the forest. And obviously the reason to do that is because I want to be fetching a mountain since we already have the survival. So this is gonna allow us to get anger into play, which should obviously be quite strong. So one thing we can do is turn 1 bird, turn 2 ranger plus Tanglewire. That should be quite good, I imagine. Opponent turn 1 basic forest into turn 1 bird. Well, so now I think we're just gonna go for survival here. So play survival, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna play out the Korean Ranger and ship the turn back. So we can get 1 survival activation. I just don't really think that there's a reason to. We could be playing the mirror here. Okay, so it's not bad. 3 mana for Deed. Okay, so it doesn't actually net me mana to do this, to blow this up now, I don't think. So what I can do is I can discard Shield Sphere, and I can go get Squee. Then I untap, I play my land. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not enough to go get Nantuko. It's not enough to get Nantuko, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to like get a bunch of value here. Yeah, so we're just gonna untap here. Another forest is not necessarily great. So I can pitch Shield Sphere, that's 1. Then 2, get Triskelion, pitch Triskelion, then get Welder, play Welder. No, it doesn't quite work, I'm short a creature. I can get Sharpshooter, so I'm definitely gonna do something, right? So let's survival, pitch Shield Sphere. And I'm gonna try to get as much value as I can. So I'm going to get Squee, then pitch Squee to survival to get anger, play my land. We can just play out the wire, but it's gonna get destroyed by the Pernicious Deed. So, I mean, whatever I get, I just need to make sure that I'm getting value from it. So let's just swing. Unfortunately, Tanglewire doesn't quite work. If I had access to Winter Orb, that may be a little bit better, though. With the Birds of Paradise, it also doesn't do anything. So we're gonna get... I guess I can just get 1 extra activation. So let's pitch here, and I'm going to untap. And I'm gonna get Trike. It's gonna be Trike or Thopter Squadron. Man, I really wish I had access to Genesis. Because I'm gonna get 2 untaps on the Birds of Paradise here. So I can actually put some stuff in my graveyard if I want to. The question is, what do I want to put in the graveyard? Probably Triskelion. So untap bird. I guess I don't have to pitch Triskelion just yet. Yeah, so I'm just gonna sit on this and pass the turn. So I'm gonna pitch Triskelion and then get Welder, and then I can weld Triskelion back with the Tanglewire. Opponent spends some mana. They're gonna crack Deed. Yeah, so now we pitch Triskelion and we're just gonna get Welder. Everything gets killed, and we really want to dodge Cabal Therapy. That sucks. Alright, so we have Tanglewire, Get Back Squee. Thopter Squadron is kind of interesting, actually. So I think we do play the Tanglewire just to buy some time. Also, if we do manage to find a Welder, we're gonna be in really good shape. If my opponent really wanted to, they could have activated Treetop and they just leave it in play, and that would allow them to have Therapy, which is funny. So we're going to tap Wire, and I think I'm going to leave up green mana. Okay, play a land, say go. So now we're going to get to have up to 4 mana for next turn. Winter would be a good draw. Welder would probably just win the game. Actually, not quite yet, because we don't have anything to enable it, so... Here's Llanowar Elf, which I'm playing out so that I can Thopter Squadron next turn. I do wonder if I'm supposed to make Thopters with the Squadron, or if I should leave it as a 3/3 Rager. Upkeep, tap a Tanglewire, and another land. Here's a Thopter Squadron, and I think I'm gonna make a dude, just to split the difference a little bit. So this is a little bit better into both Deed and a removal spell, like a Vendetta or something. So now I can draw Sharpshooter, and if I draw Sharpshooter, that would be a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. My best draw is probably still Survival, and the second one would be Welder. Like if I draw Welder, I think I may just be able to kill my opponent. Okay, opponent's attacking back. If I draw nothing, I think I'm just going to... Okay, so I did draw nothing, so I think I'm just gonna play out Squee just as a way to block. So play both of these, swing with everything. Opponent's gonna block 1, and then I'm gonna get to untap the Squee and replay a Forest. I could grow this thing, but I think I want to leave it like this. I mean, I can technically just untap this if I want to. Yeah, okay. So we sacrifice another Thopter, and then we're going to make another dude. Just funny. But now we have 2 blockers in case we need them. I mean, we are winning the race. I guess not if my opponent activates double Treetop. We get to chump block the Rager, or they can just play a Ravenous Baloth, and now we don't win the race anymore. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna block the Rager. Take 3, down to 11. Interesting spot. So everything, the Tanglewire is gonna get destroyed. Squeeze gonna come back. Can I draw Winter Orb? If I draw Winter Orb, I'm gonna feel pretty happy about my spot. I mean, it's a lot of mana, but probably not too much to do with it. Man, we have so many great draws here. It's pretty unfortunate that we can't really do anything. We really have a lot of just game-winning draws. And now we're just gonna do the same thing that we did before. We untap the Thopter and then pass the turn. So now we do have some blockers. I'm probably gonna have to chump the Baloth. Another wall. We probably have to chump the Baloth and the Rager. Now because they tapped like that, they actually cannot activate both Treetops. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Like, I want for my opponent to need 2 removal spells to make my Welders bad. They just draw a Hermit. Okay. So I'm dead next turn, so I need to top deck one of my good cards now. The good thing is my good cards are just lethal. It's not one of the good cards. Can I make enough blockers? Opponent pays for Echo, which means that they can't attack with the Treetop. And then I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. That allows me to block here, and I technically have 1 more turn, and I actually have a pretty substantial amount of mana. I also get to swing for 3 here. So swing with the Thopters, and I'm gonna actually make 2 Thopters this time around, so I have more blockers. Suck a Thopter, and then make a dude, and make a dude, and pass the turn. So this is 5 blockers for 1, 2, 3 of my opponent's attackers. And I can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that sounds about right. This is assuming the Treetop can't attack, of course. If my opponent has a land, then things get a lot worse for me. Opponent does pay for Echo. And they tapped like that. But if they had left a second green mana, then any land off the top would allow them to attack with Treetop. But that was like a little bit of a mistake that, good for us, that we weren't punished by that. How are we gonna do this now? We chump, and we chump. And then we block. Oh, we can actually just go down to 1. I think going down to 1 is safe because I'm going to have exactly 1 more turn. The question is, would I rather have 1 extra Thopter or would I rather have the Quirion Ranger? So my opponent said a virtual 6. And if I have one extra Thopter, yeah, I guess that the extra Thopter is not as relevant as the Queen Ranger. Like the Queen Ranger actually has potential to do more damage to my opponent. So now we go down to 1. Opponent had a virtual 6. And they have a Chainer's Edict, which is gonna destroy my Llanowar Elf. And now if I find... I think Survival is lethal. I think Welder is also lethal. Bottle Gnomes is not. Ugh. Is there anything I can do? I mean, I can force my opponent to sack the Baloth, but it just doesn't achieve anything. So, just swing. Okay, so they gain 4. And I'm just gonna die to the treetop now. Very unlucky. We really have a lot of live draws there. Sharpshooter was lethal. Another Thopter Squadron was not lethal. Triskelion would have been lethal. No, actually, it wouldn't have. Dredge Hermit would have been. Survival would have been lethal. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so moving on to game number 2. So I do like Color. I do like Genesis. If we had actually had access to Genesis game 1, we would have won that game, funnily enough. Winter Orb seems pretty good. And I think I want Lyrist. Basically just for Pernicious Deed. So Bottle Gnomes is gonna go. I think Tangle Warrior is okay. Winter Orb is better, but I do think Tangle Warrior is fine. I'm gonna take away Vigilante. I think Lyrist just does that, but better. I'm gonna keep my top end, and maybe I think I'm gonna cut 1 Elf, maybe 1 Tangle Warrior. Yeah, this seems fine. We're on the play, and this hand looks pretty good. Let's keep this. Turn 1 bird. We have Survival 2, which is great. Let's see how this goes. Opponent duresses, and they're gonna take my Survival. It's not bad. Here's Quirion, and here's Welder. Has to turn back. Maybe I overexposed there a little bit into Pernicious Deed, but I'm probably not beating Pernicious Deed anyway, so this is kind of fine. Withered Wretch is a little bit brutal. Maybe we have a Forest? Forest would be a great draw here. Basic Forest or Fetch Land would be fantastic. Tormod's Crypt. Damn. Okay, well, got what I wanted. And I'm just gonna play this out. So next turn on upkeep, we're going to kill the Wretch with Masticore, hoping that my opponent doesn't have removal for it specifically this turn. But we are at least going to like get rid of this Tormod's Crypt. Opponent plays out a Plague. I assume this is gonna name Elf, because Quirion Ranger is... actually, it should name Bird. Oh, they named They could name Goblin? Oh, that's pretty good for me. So, upkeep. Now they tapped out, so I don't need to play around this. So I can just discard Squee. We're gonna hold on to this. But, yeah, I'm just gonna ping the Wretch. And then I'm going to untap the bird. Bouncing Forest. Replay Forest. Swing, and we have Regeneration mana. And they kind of have to crack this Tormod's Crypt. Otherwise, I just pay my Masticore's upkeep free every turn. Borat's Stronghold. It's not gonna do too much. Deed is fine. They crack Crypt now. And kill Deed. Okay. Gonna make a Masticore regen and pass a turn. So upkeep, we're gonna discard this Forest. And we drew Survival, so I think we're just gonna let this Masticore go. Actually, no, I think I'm not going to. I may not pay the up, depending on what my opponent does here. But I don't have a creature to pitch anyway, so it's not like this Survival is doing anything just yet. Yeah, okay. This is fine. Just gonna discard Survival. Sable's Web. That's good. So this means that these 2 lands are now gonna untap. It means that I don't get to attack with the Masticore though, but that's okay. Because I think that getting both lands down is kind of a big deal. Drawing Anger is not bad. Can pitch that to Survival now. My opponent could have a removal spell. If they do, they kind of have to use it now. Yeah, Naturalize. Okay. So now I can draw another Survival. I'm getting clocked by this Baloth. Deranged Hermit. It's not good for us. Opponent swings for 4 after drawing a card. My opponent's drawing better than I am. Tangle Wire. Does that even do anything? I mean, it kind of does, but it also kind of doesn't. Because my opponent has enough permanents to tap, so this is just gonna actually tap my stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if I had played out the Survival, then the Survival would have gotten naturalized, so I would have been exactly in the same spot. So I don't think it would have changed anything. Going down to 2, fading, and I think I'm probably just dead here. Wall of Roots. Not good enough. You would have been great last turn, but not this turn, unfortunately. So we're down to 1 and 2, but we're gonna keep on playing. Man, feel like this game was very, very close. See you next round. All right, this is an actually interesting hand. I think I'm gonna keep this one. We can just straight up ram towards a trike, which is pretty cute. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Fyndhorn Elves because I kind of want to hold on to the bird because I would like to have some red mana potentially. No idea what... I'm playing against Mike Arnold, by the way. He has recently joined the leagues. It's really cool to have him. So I'm playing against a black deck. I think I'm actually going to play survival here. The reason is, so if he's playing a black deck, chances are that he cannot deal with the result survival, and I don't want to get duressed. It sucks if he kills my Finhorn Elves because I'm going to be short on creatures, but if I find a land, then I get to deploy two creatures. Should be pretty good. We get wastelanded now. Please don't have a removal spell for my elf. Thank you. There's a bird, and I'm going to play Shield Sphere only because it enables, it plays around a Diabolic Edict effect. So that's the only reason why I'm playing out the Shield Sphere. Next turn, once again, we get to play out a couple of mana dorks. Gemstone Mine. Okay, so that means that he can potentially have an answer to another Dark Red into Hippie. So I'm playing my mountain, and I think I'm just playing out a bird. We're still 2 lands away from being able to get Anger into the graveyard. He does have another plow. Playing Gemstone Mine. Attacked by the Hippie. Hopefully we pitch Strike here. We obviously pitch the Finhorn Elves. Okay, that's good. So now I have 2 mana, which means I can pitch Strike, get Anger, pitch Anger, get Squee. I guess I can go pitch... No, because I kind of want to have more lands in play. I'm just going to pass a turn. I'm just going to get Squee, pitching Triskelion. He does have that arena going on. He's down to 16. No covered swamp. So let's pitch Trike to survival. And we're going to get Squee. And then I'm going to pitch Squee to get Anger. And there we go. Gonna get hit by this Hippie once again. Obviously, Maya Granger gets discarded, but I'm kind of feeling okay now. I can pitch the Anger to get Quirion Ranger. Oh, Vindicate my survival. That sucks. That one really sucks. Okay. So now I'm in trouble. Now I'm oh, never mind. Well, here's a Goblin Welder. Please don't kill it. I'm gonna swing with the Finhorn Elves because I have nothing else to do. If I untap with this Welder, I'm pretty likely to win the game, I think. Kind of wishing I hadn't gotten back my Squee now. So he needs to kill the Welder before he attacks, because if he randomly discards the Anger to the Hypnotic Spectre, then I get to activate Welder this turn. Hoping that we discard Anger. Anger, please. Yes! Perfect. Well, now we're cooking. 4 mana for a Masticore. So now we're going to Shield Sphere, Trike. I guess we just untap. We drew a Squee, which doesn't really do anything. We do get to swing here, I guess. We also get to swing with the Finhorn Elves. He can't block with the MTGO because he can't regenerate. Actually, I should have maybe attacked to play the Squee as well, because now I have a chump blocker for the Masticore. So now he needs to... He's gonna be able to regenerate the Masticore, which is pretty bad for me. So I can just ping him if I want to. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. He pings the Welder. So he doesn't have any artifacts in his graveyard, unfortunately for me. So I can't kill the Masticore that way. And I can ping the Hypnotic Spectre and go once to face and then turn this into a Shield Sphere. I think I just let this go. At least the Trike as a 4/4 is larger. He can't really attack because then I just raise his arena. He does attack with Spectre, which is fine. I'm not going to kill it. So right now he's at a potential 5. So I'm just going to pass the turn, and this time around I'm actually going to kill the Hypnotic Spectre. So he kills the Elves on end step, but I can still just stop the Cradle, right? He draws from arena and now discards to Masticore, second arena. He still can't attack with the Masticore. I do have to kill the Spectre now though, which is unfortunate. Now he's going to be able to use Masticore to kill my Trike, probably on my end step. But I think I want to have a card in my hand in case I draw survival. Second Spectre sucks for me. No! Vomit. Kill Squee. Interesting. So I guess he wants to attack through. So now I don't have Cradle as a draw anymore. Tainted Pact, of course. Of course. A Mike classic. Okay, swings with both. I'll take it. Spectre trigger. The Range Hermit goes. I play an Angel. Just hard cast Angel. Yep. Okay, so what draws do I have? Exactly Welder. Doesn't do it. So we just untap. Foothills. Doesn't quite do it. Alright, going to game number 2. I do want Winter Orb. Do want Color of the Claw. And I do want Genesis. I think I want Lyrist / Uktavi. Question mark for both of those, but I think I may want them. Sharpshooter seems okay. Bottlenose I don't want. Wall of Root seems fine. Sabos Web seems okay, probably a little bit medium, maybe a little bit too medium. Do like the Trike, I do like this Thopter Squadron. So I think I'm gonna cut a little bit on the mana creatures. Got a couple of those. Just gonna take out the Uktavi. I'm gonna keep the Lyrist though. And then I guess I have to think about the potential of what's his name? Phyrexian Furnace and like Tormod Script and stuff. Could cut down a Welder, or I can cut down maybe a Tangle Wire. I just cut down a couple of wires. Game's probably gonna go really long. So yeah, let's go like this. Good to be on the play here. And this hand is so close. I think I'm gonna keep and hope I find the green source. It's so good if I do. Nah, I'm just gonna bully. Okay, yeah, this is not great, but it's less bad. So keep this, bottom the forest, the Karplusan Forest, and I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Druid Lyrist. The reason to do it is like now he can't retroll into Arena like he did previous turn. Planar Void, that's one I can destroy, cool. Piercing Mountain and Goblin Welder. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack, just gonna chill here. The hell is this? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're definitely blowing that one up. Blow up the Arena. Can't wait to be immediately punished. Wall of Roots. Okay, can work with that. Can work with this. So any land that I just get to deploy this Deranged Hermit. Second Arena is brutal. Get a forest and maybe a land. Okay, I mean, we got something going on. We really don't want to get owned by an Infest or a Wrath of God or something like that, because we probably lose. I don't think we're gonna be able to come back from something like that. He does not have white mana though, notably. Never mind, he found it. He has white mana now. Don't wrath me, bro. Well, we're definitely paying for this upkeep. It's a lot of mana, but I'm not gonna play it out because he has the Cradle already. I'm gonna swing here with just the squirrels. He can have the plow for the Hermit, and then I'm just like chump attacking there. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's expected, but I still think that I cannot give him infinite time, right? He has an Arena going, so I can't just not do anything. I don't have a second Hermit, so these squirrels are just going to be 1/1s. If we find a Trike, we can be in pretty good shape, though. We can basically cast any card in our deck. That one too. Play Masticore. We're going to kill the Withered Wretch. Ping. And I use the Wall of Roots mana, so I still have regeneration mana for the Masticore. With everything. And now we're just racing that Arena. Disenchant. Regeneration Shield. We do get a nice little attack for 4 here. Opponent down to 8. And then we're going to get another attack in next turn. But now he's free to kill the Masticore right now. He's got to do it now, though. He's got to Vindicate, probably. Dark Red. Don't be a morph. Don't be a morph. My opponent's own Masticore. That sucks. Alright, something good. Ugh, not sure if that one counts. I'm still going to attack here with everything I got. I think that we need to push damage while the getting's good. The question is, do I play out this Squee just to use up my opponent's mana? I don't think I do. It does make my Cradle better. My opponent does have the Wasteland though. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass. Because one more 1/1, he blocks, he pings 2. We're still in rough shape. He can slowly but surely mow down my 1/1s though. And if he finds an Exalted Angel. Yeah, maybe I should have... Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, I should have definitely played out the Squee. Just as a stupid 1/1. Because I'm not really getting rid of this Planar Void. And so if I had swung here, I swing, he blocks, he kills the other 2. I only get in there for 1. I don't think that's good enough. Gonna play other bird though. Just ship the turn back. That's gonna kill 2 of my 1/1s. I just want to make sure that I have something to pitch to survival. Killing my 1/1s. Trike of the top wins. That's my best draw. I don't agree with him not wastelanding my Gaia's Cradle. He's opening himself up to me just top decking Triskelion, and maybe he's just hoping to hardcast an Angel, and that's how he gets out of the self-inflicted Arena lock. Okay, swing for 4. I can still hardcast a Trike. Survival. Whew, okay. So, we have 1, 2, 3. I don't think I have a window. What I can do is I can play Shield Sphere. Play Shield Sphere, now this stuff's for 2, so that's 1, 2. And then I pay 1 and I have only 4 mana. My Masticore is gone. I'm 1 off Nantuko. Yeah, I mean, I probably have to do this. He doesn't wasteland. Play survival. I guess I can get Color of the Claw. Could get Sharpshooter, doesn't do anything. Could get another wall, but that doesn't do anything either. I think I just get Color of the Claw. So I just pass the turn back, and I just get Color of the Claw. Okay, I can just... So now I can just take this damage, and I simply go to untap, and I can just go get Triskelion. So if he taps out, I go get Trike. He needs to Wasteland Cradle now. He doesn't. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pitch Squeak to Survival and go get Trike. This is gonna prompt the Wasteland, or he can kill my Wall of Roots. But if he goes for killing Wall of Roots, I can go for Color of the Claw instead. If I just get Color, he just kills it. So that doesn't really help me. So I'm just gonna get one of these Triskelions, and this is gonna be sort of a bait here. So now he's gonna have to Wasteland me, and if I top deck any land, I win. Yeah, so if I top deck any land, I win. And if I don't, yeah, so I just let this go. Maybe I should have floated mana, but whatever. So I let that go. That's not a land. So I just pitch this for a wall. I can also bait him. So I use Wall of Roots mana. I pitch Birds for a wall. Play a wall. No, it doesn't quite work. I'm 1 mana off. Or I have to pitch my Trike. One interesting thing that I can do is I can like play around this Planar Void. I'm trying to think, because Anger's still in the deck, so I can pitch Birds to Anger, then I pitch Anger. No, but I need to have the... I'm thinking if I play Sharpshooter, but I need the Sharpshooter to be already in play, so that doesn't quite work. So if I pitch these Birds to play wall, play the wall, and now I have... Yeah, I cannot actually... If my opponent kills the Wall of Roots, I cannot the other thing, unfortunately. Man, this is super close. So I think we just untap here. And if he goes for end step, kill your wall, which I think he's going to, I now get Color of the Claw. Pitch that, survival, pitch Birds, get Color of the Claw. And now this comes with a bear. And now he untaps. And he now has the Trike in my hand. But I can just go get Anger and simply hardcast the Anger next turn. And that's another 2/2 haster. And he's dying to his own arena here. Man, what a close game. This has been fun. Masticore really is a heck of a card, even if it's this ugly, this extremely ugly art. Vindicate his own arena. That's fine. I accept. I think I'm going for it with the Anger. So we're just gonna hardcast Anger. Just get a hasty 2/2. Trying to feel to see if I'm missing anything, but I don't think I am. He can have exactly 2 more removal spells in hand, and that would suck. 2/2 hasty, baby. 2/2 haste. Let's go. Oh my god, this has been hilarious. And we get a game 3! How cool is this? If his hand is double Swords to Plowshares... Oh, he doesn't have 2 white mana, so we're good, yeah. Even if he has like Diabolic Edict, we're still fine. So he needs to have like exactly Smother into Plow. And then he has no cards, because his Masticore is gonna die on his upkeep. Plow his own... Plow his own Masticore, let's go! Yes! Oh my god, this is awesome. So I guess I should have played a Quirion Ranger, huh? Nah, my opponent had 2 mana, so he could have just pinged it. Man, this game has been hilarious. He has Wrath, he has Angel. He has Angel. Can I beat that? Oh yeah, triggers. That's how I beat that. He's actually just dead, because he's gonna die with the life gain trigger on the stack. Oh man, that's funny. Life gain trigger, baby. Oh my god, that was a lot of fun. If this were actual lifelink, we would continue playing. You gotta love old templating. You gotta love old school templating. All right, game number 3. I'm kind of feeling these naturalizes now, huh? He has a lot of stuff. Maybe Tunnel Wire is great. I don't know. I am skeptical. But I'm starting to think the Naturalize is just better than I'm giving it credit for. Also, maybe I don't need to be doing Welder things. Not super high on Octavi, I don't think. But maybe I'm better off just having like a mana producing creature instead of a Welder. I can always just go get Welder if I need to. Doesn't seem like Furnace does anything. Doesn't seem like Naturalize does too much either. Don't think I care about Sharpshooter. I meant Orangutan, not Naturalize. Although I guess Orangutan can kill Masticore. How much do I care about Masticore? Probably enough. Of note, however, Octavi is not a May. So if I have like a Savage Web or something like that, I have to actually blow it up if I want to play a 3-mana 2/2. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, Octavi's probably worth having access to, right? Now that I saw Masticore. In fact, I had Masticore from the previous game. Maybe I should have thought about that. I'm gonna cut a Finhorn Elves. Just go like this. He has a lot of enchantments and artifacts over there. Much more than I was originally expecting. This hand is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Love everything about this hand. Only question is, do I Welder or do I Quirion on turn 1? I think I Welder. Definitely keeping this. And I'm gonna go turn 1 Welder, turn 2 Sabos Web? Yeah, I think so. I don't have to expose the survival. He moves to 5. Turn 1 Cave. We like nothing. Do like nothing. No duress, no ritual. Well, that's better than a Welder. So let's play that one instead. Is he gonna bolt the bird? Looks like he's not. Okay, so now we actually do get to play survival turn 2, which is much better, huh? Ooh, baby. So I think I actually want to play a mountain here, and I can play Quirion. Could give me 1 extra survival activation. I think I might as well. Nah, I'm just gonna Sabos Web here. Just dig a little bit deeper. Next turn we're gonna have much more mana. We're gonna really be able, like, he didn't have duress so far, right? So it's pretty likely that he just not have a duress, even though I did see duress game 2. Now Sabos Web hosts the Wasteland as well, which is great. Like this card has been so impressive. Like Sabos Web hosting like Wasteland and stuff is kind of insane. Like he just wastes a disenchant on my Sabos Web, which has already gotten, like, which I had already gotten value from. Like, how insane is that? I drew a card from Sabos Web, he moved to 5, and he wasted a disenchant instead of on my survival on my Sabos Web. Just because his mana is just bad. You love to see it. You love to see it. Oof, Tainted Pact. For what? Let's do this. Draw 1 card. Can work with that. Source to Plowshares the bird. That's okay. I can. Alright. So let's play a forest here. And I'm just going to play a forest, and I'm just gonna survival. Swing for 1. Shield Sphere can mean more mana next turn. Maybe honestly I should have just done that. Should have just played Shield Sphere and just pitched the Welder so that I can start to get value from survival. I can potentially discard the Genesis, which I think is what I'm getting. I think I'm getting Genesis here. Please play an Arena or something. So I'm definitely gonna activate survival here. I'm gonna upgrade this Shield Sphere onto something else. I'm not gonna get Squee because like Squee doesn't really do anything. He should not naturalize here in response. He should have waited, I think. So I'm just gonna get something that actually gives me value. So I think I'm just getting Thopter Squadron, just untap. And now that I have untapped, now I can just go kind of nuts. So let's play Welder. Now Cradle taps for 2 mana. Let's survival Thopter Squadron. He has to kill the Welder now. Fine. So get Anger. Survival, pitch, Anger. All my stuff is hasty now. I can make a mana if I want to. I think I just get Genesis. Just get that party started. Discard Genesis, and I'm just gonna get Burst of Paradise. Continue making some mana. We even get to attack for 1. Oh, I can just play this now, right? So green, Quirion Ranger on tap, bounce, replay my forest. Oh, I didn't notice that I had already played my land. Oh, I started the turn doing that. I'm stupid. Okay, so I only have 2 mana. I can play a Welder. It doesn't really do anything though. I'm just gonna get Squee. Okay, here we go. Swinging for 1. I feel like maybe there was something better I could have done that turn. So he kind of has to Wasteland my Cradle. If he doesn't, things are gonna get pretty bad for him pretty quickly. Just gonna get another Welder here. We just have so much value. We get to Genesis back the Shield Sphere. And we get a Thopter Squadron in play. Squee comes back. Shield Sphere comes back. And I want to make use of the Cradle right there because I want to guarantee that I have access to my mana. So Shield Sphere and boing. Now we're gonna dude, and I can untap Welder, and I can weld Thopter Squadron for a Sabos Web to draw a card. We still get 1 Welder activation here, which is nice. Now he has 2 Wastelands he can't use. Dude, Sabos Web, so hot. So hot. He says, oof, Genesis targeting Shield Sphere. I know. So hot. All right, that was fun. That was definitely a lot of fun. And this deck is just, even whether I win or lose, it just doesn't matter. I always have a great time with this deck. It really is a good time. All right, see you next round. All right. Time for the last match. I keep in this hand. We don't have a mana creature. We don't really have anything particularly great going on. This hand seems fine versus maybe potentially Sly or something like that. I guess this is fine if I find a Welder. It's not even that good because I can't really loop the Sabos Web until the Sheet Sphere die. Although I guess I can play Mastic on this card, Thopter Squadron, that would be great. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna ship this. This is better by a lot. So keep this, I'm gonna bottom the Carpolucent Forest. And I think I just play the Welder turn 1. Gonna be hoping that we're not playing against the Duress deck. He also moves to 6. We're playing against Matt, by the way, a local over here from California, great guy. He's brand new to MTGO, so make sure you welcome him. Carpolucent Forest on the other side as well. Mog Fanatic. Okay, so we probably playing against Goblins, I would imagine. I'm still gonna have to play the Survival this turn here. And I know that I'm playing into Naturalize, but like I can't just wait until next turn, unfortunately. If he has the Naturalize, that's gonna be really bad for me, but it is what it is. But the good thing here is I can go play Welder, so pitch Welder, get Squee, and then pitch the Squee to get something else. Maybe another Welder, actually. Don't Naturalize me, Matt. Don't do it. Pile Driver. Okay, cool. So now we actually get to do some stuff. So he didn't have Naturalize, otherwise he would have Naturalized there, right? So actually if I play Tanglewire, this means next turn I get two activations. Alternatively, so what I can do here, pitch Welder to Survival, get Squee, pitch Squee, get the 0-drop. I can get a Shield Sphere and just play it out. And then following turn, get back Squee, pitch Squee, get Anger. Yeah, I think that's good. So get Squee, and now Survival, pitch Squee to get Shield Sphere and play Shield Sphere. Really would like to dodge Naturalize one more turn. If I do manage to dodge Naturalize here, I think I'm gonna be good to go. Because I can just go play a fetch land, play a forest, pitch Squee to get Anger, pitch Anger to get Trike, pitch Trike to get Welder, and then just win from there. Okay, so cycle Gem Palm, deal 1 damage to the Shield Sphere. Yeah, so we're just good to go here. I think we're gonna have this one locked up. No reason not to attack, so he should attack, and I'm just gonna block here. It's a free block because I'm gonna be pitching the Shield Sphere anyway. Alternatively, I can just play Tanglewire. That's hot. I think I'm gonna go for the bigger play here though. So get another forest, pitch Squee to Survival, get Anger, pitch Anger to Survival, get Trike, pitch Trike to Survival, get Welder, play Welder, switch these two, swing for 4. There's no reason to kill this right now. Even if he has another Gem Palm to kill my Welder, I can just kill the Pile Driver in response. So, but yeah, I think we're just gonna lock this game up now. Found another land, Mog Fanatic. It's gonna kill Welder, but fine. Feels like it's too late for that to matter. He doesn't. I mean, I don't think it really matters anyway. So this turn we're gonna play the Tanglewire. We can get a bird. I guess it's free to get a Bird of Paradise, so I might as well. Pitch to Survival. Actually, I could get Quirion Ranger. I guess getting Quirion is better. So let's swing with Trike. He can regenerate. He can block and regenerate, but I think that's fine. Like he still takes a point of damage this turn. I'm not gonna kill this Pile Driver. Like this is gonna get tapped next turn with the Tanglewire. So this also taps him for the turn. I could kill this, but I just don't think it matters. He's still taking a point. So now we play Quirion, untap Trike, and play Tanglewire. We even get some City of Brass value. Whew, you'll love to see it. Okay, so now we untap. Squee comes back once again. Fading first, then Squee, then we tap. 1, 2, 3. So we can turn Squee into a bird. What else can we do? I feel like we want to start to get a little bit ahead on mana here. Could get Sharpshooter. So getting Sharpshooter, what it does is it just gets rid of the... Yeah, this seems fun. So let's just go for Sharpshooter and shoot here, then untap, shoot again. So this means that he's gonna have to tap everything to the Tanglewire. Now down to 6, then down to 5 from the City of Brass, and then we have lethal actually, because I can ping twice with Sharpshooter because of the Quirion Ranger. So this is just lethal. Ping face, untap, ping face, Trike 1, 2, boom! City of Brass trigger on the stack, baby. Game number 2. Playing against the Scary Goblins. So, Color of the Claw seems good. Nasty Core seems fantastic. Sharpshooter seems fantastic. What do we care about? Sabo's Web seems great. Tangled Wire seems decent. Bottleneum seems also decent. I think I'm gonna cut a couple of Welders and maybe an Elf. Maybe Winter Orb on the draw, and I'm a little bit more interested in Winter Orb on the play. Genesis is interesting. I am honestly not sure whether I care about this or not. Like, I'm expecting my opponent to have not only, of course, Mog Fanatic and that kind of stuff, but I also expect them to have access to Pyrokinesis and whatnot. I'm just gonna cut Vigilante. Yeah, maybe because of Pyrokinesis, I should just have more Welders, just because it's a 1-1 that can trade with my opponent's Lackey. So Winter Orb on the draw, probably gonna come out. On the play, I'm a little bit more interested in it, but on the draw, it's probably gonna be a little bit too slow. Maybe a Tangle Wire and call it a day. Bird and Wall. Okay, let's keep this hand. We have some good mana. He does have the turn 1 Lackey. I'm going to chomp with the bird if I'm allowed to. Okay, I'm just gonna play the Welder instead. He can have like Mog Fanatic or Gem Palm, but I don't have that many ways of dealing with a Lackey anyway, right? So if he does have one of those, little matters what I have. He's just gonna connect with the Lackey, period. Yeah, just as Gem Palm. Not much for me to do here. I just have to hope that he doesn't have something particularly strong. So no Siege Gang or anything like that. But Wall is just actively very, very good in this matchup. Goblin King. Okay, actually can't beat that. Mountain Walk. God damn it. Alright, so next turn we get to play Trike. So that's good. Next turn we do get to play Trike, but this Lackey is gonna connect once again. War Chief. Okay. Well, I'm gonna block the Goblin King. I could say if my opponent has Pyrokinesis, they have Pyrokinesis, right? Like that's just a disaster, and they just kill everything, and everything's bad. But I think I can't really afford to take that much damage. You know, I will be taking 2 damage for free. Right? If my opponent has Pyrokinesis, I'm probably just dead anyways. Survival. Probably just have to play Trike here. I don't think I can really mess around with this. I don't think I have the time. So just kill Goblin King. Okay, now I have luck. I can actually trade with this Pile Driver. Do I just block the Pile Driver? Or do I just... Huh, this is interesting. I really have to find a creature. If I find a creature, I think I'm gonna be in good shape. The question is how much damage can I actually take? Okay, so he ends up choosing to go for everything. So I'm just gonna block the Lackey for free, and I'm gonna block the Wall of Roots over here. I'm gonna take 5, which is a healthy amount, but I think I need to take advantage there of the attack Tinker. Unfortunately can't kill the War Chief there. So if he Tinkers the Trike, that is his entire turn. And I can't ping him because otherwise the Trike will die itself because of the 1 point of damage that I took from the Lackey. So I actually have to let this go, so I get to actually trade with the Tinker as opposed to him getting a free activation to kill my Triskelion. Any creature. That is good. Okay, so survival just entirely opens this up. So now we get to pitch Fyndhorn Elves. Go get Squee. Pitch Squee. Go get Anger. I don't have enough for Sharpshooter, but I think I'm just gonna go get another wall. So yep, pay a mana to survival for Anger. Just get another wall. Or I can make the play that I made last time where I just got Shield Sphere. Yeah, that seems better actually. So now I get an artifact in play, and next turn I can go get Goblin Welder once the Squee comes back. And if I draw any creature, I can start looping Triskelions because I get to put a Green Ranger in play as well. Ooh, Rishadan Port. Oh no! Second Tinker is so good here. It just kills my Shield Sphere for free. Absolutely brutal. I gotta pivot now. Really punished for getting Shield Sphere instead of another Wall of Roots. We do get a block here. My opponent's gonna get to tap my Cradle on upkeep, but I can still float it for 2 mana. Opponent's not 1 card in hand though, so they're off. This we get a free block, so we take 3, and we do get to pitch the Squee on upkeep to the Cradle. I'm assuming he's gonna tap on upkeep. Yep. Float mana. Squee comes back, and we're going to pitch Squee for... I have 6 mana, so I guess I can just cast a Triskelion, but I think it may be better to just get a Range Hermit. Is there anything that I want to put in the graveyard? That's the question. Because I have 1 free mana that I'm not going to use otherwise. So is there any card that I do not want to draw? I guess I could put a Thopter Squadron in the graveyard, or a Bottle Gnomes. Or a bird for that. No, because like I guess any creature is fine. I don't want to, because like any creature just turns into whatever I want. So yeah, I'm just gonna get the Range Hermit and just untap, play a land, fetch. I'm just gonna hardcast my Hermit here. And I don't think I attack. I guess I can attack. I want to make sure that I have lethal next turn, so this is 9 damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack for 3. So this is down to 12. Next turn, if my opponent doesn't attack, I can attack with this and I can just hardcast a Triskelion. So this is fine. Found the land. 1 card left in hand. And this is why I want to just have access to a card like the Range Hermit, and it surprises me when I see other survival Welder lists. Because like all of these lists are kind of like built on synergy, but I think that there's definitely an argument for building. Okay, so his last card in hand is a Lackey, so I think that we're gonna close this one out. I think that there's a very strong argument for just having good cards in your deck, right? Like just cards that don't really need any of those synergies going on to be able to do something powerful. So if like right here, I just spent 5 mana and I survival for the Range Hermit, and I just have instant board state, right? 9 power worth of creatures on 4 different bodies. So very, very strong, obviously. Here we're going to pay for Echo. He taps my other lands. I only have 3 mana this turn because of double port. We pay for Echo, and Squee comes back. So what do I want to Squee for? I could Squee for Sharpshooter. I can also Squee for Masticore, but Masticore just gets destroyed by Tinkerer, so not too high on that just yet. Could go get a Welder. Could go get another wall. I'll just go get a Welder. But I'm gonna get a Welder, which I'm not gonna cast. So I'm just gonna chill on that Welder. So I'm just gonna pass a turn here. Don't think I have particularly great attacks. But next turn we're just going to start going off. If he has another Goblin King or Matron for second Goblin King, I lose. I'm gonna find out soon enough. He could go get Gem Palm, kill the Range Hermit, and now my creatures are just 1/1s. Or Sharpshooter, which is actually lethal. Yeah, exactly lethal. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. Man, that port actually got me. Maybe I should have done this the turn before. Or maybe I should have just gotten my own Sharpshooter. If I had my own Sharpshooter, I can just kill his before we do the thing instead of the Welder. Yeah, maybe I got a little cocky. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Okay, now we're gonna be on the play. Tangled Wire becomes more exciting, but I mean, double Tinkerer is definitely something to be scared about. I think I want Genesis, actually. Maybe over the second Thopter Squadron. So let's go with this. I honestly didn't even think of Sharpshooter, to be honest. This hand has a lot of mana, but it doesn't really do anything. It does buy a lot of time, so I guess I'm gonna keep it, but it's close. I'm also fetching for a Forest because I have a Korean Ranger in hand. But it's possible that I should have just gone Karplusan Forest on 1, and I should have just hoped to draw, just to set up in case I draw Anger. Okay, that's gonna kill the Aquarium. So we just get to kind of replay the previous turn a little bit. So I'm not exposing the Shield Sphere before I have to. Also, I may just draw Survival and just don't want to play out the Shield Sphere because I want to save it for survival purposes. And Sharpshooter, what a banger. Another Fanatic. So do I want to play Tangled Wire here? I don't think I do. I get super punished if my opponent has War Chief, but I don't think I want to play Tangled Wire this turn. I think I want to save it one more turn. But yeah, I get super punished by War Chief. A little bit punished by the Yamaya Hollow there. Pile Driver. Okay, cool. So now we get to play a wall, and now this turn we definitely play out the Tangled Wire. Just start to buy a little bit of time. Best case scenario is he naturalizes it, plays a land, and I imagine ships back the turn. Okay. Fading. Honestly, there's an argument for just tapping the wall there, but okay. So that gets a mountain into play? Sure. Seems good enough to me. So I guess I should have tapped the wall, huh? Mountain and say go. I think I'm paying upkeep on this Granger. Okay, so he taps 3 things. Has a fetch land. Okay, that one. I'm not gonna play out the Shield Sphere now that I know that. But fading. We're gonna tap 3. And we tap 2 things. The land, played out, pass the turn. We really need to find survival here. If we find survival, the game opens up entirely, but we can also just find a Triskelion, just hardcast it. Okay, so he's got a Ringleader. Pretty good Ringleader. He stepped out though. I'm gonna block with wall here. He stepped out though, so if we play second Tangled Wire, we at least get 1 full tap from him. Survival of the top, or Triskelion. I'm gonna play Welder and play a second Tangled Wire here. The goal here is to make things awkward for him. He's gonna have to tap 5 things. Definitely not attacking. But now I can start looping Tangle Wires, and that can potentially do something. Okay, tap some mana. Barbarian Ring. Okay, if I find Sabo's Web, we're gonna be in really good shape if we find Sabo's Web, let me tell you that much. I imagine he's in a Matron for the one that cycles. Gempalm. Oh, he goes for Milk Fanatic instead. I feel like I would have gone for Gempalm there. Okay, something good, baby. Hook me up. I think I'm gonna tap the wall here. I'm at 19. And if I draw Trike, I want to make sure that I can use it. I really want to maximize, but this Milk Fanatic is going to kill my Welder, so I think I need to hold on to the bird just so I can maximize a potential survival. So I'm just going to pass the turn back here. So he's going to be taking one turn where he doesn't attack, but he's going to just like get a bunch of stuff into play. But Welder down, can't get those shenanigans going on any longer now. If I can manage to draw survival, I can do a lot of things. A lot of impressive things. War Chief is brutal. He's been getting really punished this game by the Yavimaya Hollow. If he attacks, I'm snapping it off. I think he's just gonna leave up Tinker activation here. So now I actually need to be careful with the fading. So this fading is the last thing that goes on the stack because I want to make sure that I can tap both of my Tangle Wires. This is the turn where I need to find survival, or I think I'm just gonna fall too far behind. Woof! Okay. All right. So how do we get back into this game? I think it's Sharpshooter plus Quirion Ranger. Do I have enough? So play 2 to survival. Pay 1 to pitch birds to get Sharpshooter. Pay 1 to get Quirion Ranger. I feel like I need to kill this War Chief. Obviously, if he has Gempalm, we probably just lose. I can just get Trike, but if I get Trike, then he can Tinker it away. Okay, so these are my options. We have Masticore, the Range Hermit, Thopter Squadron. I feel like I really need to kill this War Chief. So we can go, he can Tinker the Tangle Wire. It does kill the Tinker, but then I'm dead, so that doesn't quite help me. So let's think. We pay 2 and we play survival, then we pay 1, pitch bird to get anger. Then we pitch anger to get squee. Then we pitch squee to get trike. Yeah, I feel like that's what I have to do. The good thing is I'm not obviously dead as far as right now goes. He may also have naturalize here though, right? So there's anger, survival pitch anger, and I'm going to get squee, then pitch squee to get trike, pitch trike, get welder, play welder, and play shield sphere. Okay, so he actually, this worked out in the best possible way. So now I get shield sphere, and I switch this up, and now I kill the war chief. All right, woof, that's crazy. 3 mana, second war chief, okay. But he kind of has to activate Prayer Ring here. Lucky, okay. I can beat this, because I have 2 chump blockers. Another lucky. Yeah, this is fine, this is beatable. All of this is okay. Just sense everything. He is running low on clock, to be fair. He is kind of running low on clock. So, block there, and I think I'm gonna block a lucky, and I'm going to block another lucky. Take 5. I definitely care about holding on to this strike, because it's an artifact that I have in play. But yeah, I think he's gonna time out, but I think that we were gonna get there anyway. Yeah, we were definitely gonna get there. Okay, so squee. We're gonna get Quirion here. We could get Masticore, but I don't think we have enough mana to really take advantage of it. So let's just get Trike, and then we're gonna pitch the second Trike to get Quirion, and then we're going to play Quirion. And now this is gonna ping Lackey. Welder is gonna switch Trikes. Then we get to swing for 4. Then we get to kill the War Chief. And we get to untap the Quirion Ranger, the Welder again with the Quirion Ranger. And we get to flip Trikes once again. So this was going to completely obliterate my opponent's board. And then we just take it from there. All right, crazy match. Man, this deck is just so much fun. I love it. I love it. Alright folks, hopefully you enjoyed it and you got a little peek of why I love this deck so much. It's just so much fun, right? Like, you just get to do some nasty stuff with survival, and there's so many lines all the time that get enabled out of nowhere. Just hitting land drops out there, and then all of a sudden, boom, you kind of explode out of nowhere. And you get to do some pretty impressive stuff, right? Like, between like Triskelion, Thopter Squadron really showed, especially in the first match, it really showed why I have been so impressed with the card. It just does so much in a very compact package, but it kind of does exactly what this deck wants to do. I feel like there's a lot of tinkering to be done with this deck. I am not high at all on Bottle Gnomes. I am kind of iffy on the main deck Winter Orb. Like, it's fine against certain matchups, or when it's dead, it's kind of very dead, so not super high on it. I kind of want a second Sharpshooter, even though we didn't necessarily get to do super nasty Sharpshooter stuff in this specific league. But the cards that impressed were, you know, obviously Savos Web. This card is just an absolute banger. Tangle War did a lot of work in a variety of matchups, which I was impressed by. Like, especially against Goblin, I wasn't expecting it to be, you know, particularly impressive or anything. But it does feel like it was super important, especially in that game 3, you know? And then the cards that really overperform continue to be, obviously, like the cards that the deck is built around, like Thopter Squadron, Trike, and stuff like that. As far as the sideboard, it kind of feels like it's super up in the air. Like, I know the stuff that I want. I also kind of want a Genesis in the main deck too, which is something that I picked up over this league. So maybe like the Bottle Gnomes can be a Genesis or something like that. But I just feel like Bottle Gnomes is there specifically for Sly and kind of nothing else. They're just for Sly. So I do wonder if it's even worth it to have a card for matchup that it's, sure, it's one of the tier 1 decks of the format, but there's no really any other deck where I would want it, versus Genesis, which I would want against a pretty wide variety of matchups. So again, like, the big reason obviously is the fact that it's an artifact and a creature, so it works both for Welder synergies, and it also works for survival to get the engine started. But it's such an underwhelming card by itself that, I don't know, I could see this being something else. Maybe Bottle Gnomes are in the sideboard or something like that, I don't know. But there's a lot to explore with this deck. I think this archetype is kind of very underexplored, and I feel like a lean and very clean version of the deck like this one, in my opinion, has the potential to be the best version of the deck. I think like all of those white splashes out there are just quite bad, and Burning Wish just doesn't really make too much sense to me. So maybe I'm wrong on that, but I do think that this is the best Welder version that I've seen so far. And the Thopter Squadron tech is, I think it's very good. So I hope that some folks out there explore with this deck a little bit more. I know that I will be doing it because I have too much fun, as you saw it through this league. But this is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.